The 6th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Hey, I clicked him in.
Oh, here he is. Hey, Phil.
How you doing, Phil? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Full screen. Full screen.
Okay,
There
now
Okay.
we're on. I had to click
Okay.
on.
All right. Okay. Oh, back to this Gemora.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as they keep going on with this shikha, I'm not going to be. No. I think the only thing that we could do is Oh no. Okay. We'll try to get through it, I guess. Okay. Okay. So, oh wow. It looks like we're going to be continuing this. Oh boy. Okay. Let's try to go forward. See if that'll work. We tried to go forward from the Mai. We got stuck. But what can we do? Okay. Okay, so let's, as far as reading words goes, we got up to Kati Miboile. Now the Gemara is going to bring a Mishnah in Peah. Maybe this will be a little bit new. We'll be able to sink our teeth into it, get a fresh start.
The Gemora objects. The akate miboile the chidat nan. But the verse is still needed to teach that which we learned in the Mishnah. Okay, so what verse are we talking about? Let's see. The verse is Oh, that's what its pages are stuck together. Sorry about that. When you are in a field and you forget the sheaf, it is shichicha, but not when you forget while in the city. Is that the verse we're talking about?
I think so.
Okay. So this verse is needed to teach what we learned in the following Mishnah. Shele fanav ein shichicha. What is in front of him is not shichacha. Shele'acharav yesh shichacha. Shehu b'chol tashuv. What is in front of him is not shichacha, but what is behind him is shichacha. Shehu b'chol tashuv, because it is included in the prohibition not to turn back.
Right, that's what the pasuk says. Lo tashuv lekachto.
Right.
You can't go back and pick up what you already, a row of produce that you already went through. You were supposed to cut it down, to reap it. You were supposed to gather what fell on the ground after you cut it down and reaped it. And you got that one chance as you went through. And once it's behind you, shalacharov yeshichacha. You then shuhu babal tashuv. Then you're under the what?
Excuse me a second, I have to get the door.
Then you're under the prohibition of lo tashuv lekachto. You can't return back to where you already were, and pick up what was forgotten. After you passed over that section, so now it's called shicha. So that's what we need this pasuk for. Lo tashuv lekachto. You can't go back and gather it. Okay. Okay, so we have a Rashi over here. Shalafanov ein shichacha.
Okay, I'm trying to find which one we up to now.
Shalafanov ein shichacha.
Okay, Shalafanov in front of him is not considered the shichachash. The shechachta hakotzer, with forgetting of the reaping, so to speak, we're dealing with. Yechid, an individual. Shahachil likso. What's hahachil likso? To reap miros originally.
A yachid.
That's shemachil. That's beginning to reap individually.
Yeah, he's starting to do the reaping.
Didn't look like a tough. Okay, she began to reap originally. Hashor, the row, the shochach lifon, and he forgot it in front of him. La'acharav, but afterwards, shalafarahavi, afterwards, it's considered shechacha. Shalafonov, in front of him, lo havi shishcha. It's not considered shechacha. You know, you can't have shechacha of things you haven't got to yet. But once you pass it already, then it's shechacha. Got it.
So he's starting Yochid Shehischil Liksor Mirosh Ashura. He's starting a Yochid, a singular one person. Well, he's starting to do the reaping Mirosh Ashura from the head of the Shura. I guess that's the beginning of the row. V'shokach lefonav u'lachorov. And he forgets that is what in front of him and behind him. Okay. So, shlachorov havi shichacha. What he already went through, that will have a din of shichacha. And he can't, what does it mean to have a din of shichacha? That means he will not be able to go back. It's now, the halacha has kicked in that he cannot go back, and it's now reserved for the anim. But shalafanov, that he hasn't gotten to, lo habi shichacha. That does not have a din of shichacha that he can't that I don't know exactly what shichacha in what's in front of him would entail. Maybe what does that mean exactly? Why is it shichacha? He hasn't yet gotten to it. You can only forget what you already got to when you forgot to get it. But when you haven't yet gotten to, how can you even say that there was a shichacha? Don't know what that means really. What does it mean? Shalafan of ein shichacha. Somebody who's in other words, let's say that he's in the middle of the row, and there's stocks at the end of the row. They're still in front of him because he's in the middle. He's not at the end yet. So those stocks don't have a din shichacha because he hasn't gotten to them yet. So therefore, we say he didn't forget about them. He just placed them down to the side, and he's planning on getting them later. I don't know what that means. He hasn't gotten to them at all, to put them down anywhere.
Maybe there's several reapers in a line, and the guy in front of him dropped the sheaf, and now that sheaf is in front of him, but it was forgotten by the guy in front of him. And the question is, since he hasn't gotten to it yet, maybe he'll pick it up, and therefore, even though it was actually forgotten by the guy in front of him, it's not forgotten by him.
Uh-huh.
Could that be?
Could be. מה שלא שכחו אלא הניחו לאפסו אחר כך, אבל אם שוכח אומר בתחילת השורה או באמצע והמשיך לקצור, אז האומרים שלאחריו הדין הוא. If you have, okay, all right, fine. Okay, let's go further. So that's what this Mishnah says. Shalafonov ein shechacha shalachorov yesh shechacha. Then the Mishnah continues. I think this is still the language of the Mishnah. Zeh haklal. So we're continuing to read in the Gemora. In other words, the words of the Mishnah. Zeh haklal. Want to read, Lou?
Okay. Tell me again where we are. I didn't follow. Zeha Klal.
Yeah, Zeha Klal.
Have we turned the page? Are we on 11B?
You're still on 11A3.
Oh no, no, we're it's one,
Oh,
two,
wow.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines from the bottom. In the middle of the line, first word in the line is Shehu.
Shehu. Shehu. I see Shehu. Okay. Zeha Klal. Shehu. It's all the way up here.
Are you on the Gemora or the art scroll page?
What art scroll page is it? It's Phil?
11A. So on 11A3, it's like in the middle, on the right, in the middle of that paragraph, the Gemara still objects. We didn't finish that paragraph. Zeh klal, this is the rule. If they're about a few lines down.
Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to just start with the beginning of that line. Abaye, I'm sorry. Achate mi boye le Lechidatani. Verse is still needed to teach what we learned in the Mishnah. She lefanav ein shichcha. What is in front of him is not shichcha. She leacharav yesh shichcha. Shehu v'chol tashuv. What is behind him is shichcha because it is included in the prohibition not to turn back. Zeh klal. This is the rule. Kol shehu b'chol tashuv shichcha. Anything that is governed by the prohibition not to turn back is shichcha. Kol she'eno b'chol tashuv eno shichcha. Anything that is not governed by the prohibition not to turn back is not shichcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the Brisa, that's the Mishnah, and the verse is needed to teach that. Amar Rav Ashi says, Amar Kra Yiyeh. The verse says, it shall be. The Revos Shichcha Ha'ir, to include the sheaf forgotten by the owner when he's in the city.
Oh, okay. So that's what the Gemara meant when it says before Rav Ashi, the Gemara said, "Hai mi boile le akati mi boile le kedatnan." The Gemara was saying that we need the pasuk of that it says, "Don't go back and take it." Not to tell me about we can't learn from that the balabais that forgets when he already is in the city, because we need it for this for the cloud that we said over here. And now Rav Ashi is answering, granted that is so, but we can learn the din l'rabos shichcha sa'ir. When the balabais is in the ear and he forgets, that will also have a din of shichcha. That we learn it from a different word in the pasuk, in the same pasuk, but we learn it from a different word. We learn it from the word yiyeh.
I'm still confused by this whole idea that he forgets it when he's in the city.
Yeah,
He's not in the field. What does it mean he forgets it?
right. Yeah, this is what we've been talking about the whole time. We've been referring to this.
Oh, I know.
Um, um, yeah. Uh, what's the case? He's standing in the Balabais' Balasada, the owner of the field. He's in the city, and he says, Rashi said over here that he said that Omer sheyesh li besada she'anachti shamidaiti. I put it down there, and I was relying on the my workers that they would pick it up and bring it, but they forgot. So we thought that there was a question whether the din of shechaka would apply to such a person who's not in the field.
Could it be that it's like the principle of being miyayesh? A person loses something, and now he's not where the object is. It dropped out of his pocket on the street. He gets home, and he reaches into his pocket and realizes, oy vey, it's gone. And then he says to himself, I'll never get it back. So at that moment, when he gives up hope, the object becomes hefker. Could it be that that's what this is saying? That at the moment when he's in the field and it becomes established that he's forgotten about that sheaf, it becomes hefker?
Well, when you're talking about Yeush, you're talking about an active feeling on the part of the owner of the item that he relinquishes any rights of ownership and despairs of ever recovering this item that he lost. It's an active thought which produces a result that the item is hefker. It's no longer connected to the owner. Here, we're not talking here about that he's doing an active thought of despair. We're rather saying that he just simply forgot about this sheaf that's in his field, and so then the halacha of shechaka applies. If he forgot about it, so then now it's it's now he's not allowed to go and get it. He's got to leave it for the anim, but it's not because it's hefker, because he made an active he actively thought to himself that he despairs from ever finding it again. He just forgot to get it, forgot to go and get it.
So what if we apply that to the lost object? Let's say he doesn't reach into his pocket. He doesn't realize he's missing the object. He just goes about his business and never notices that the thing is.
That's the famous case of Yehu Shalom Midas.
Right.
He doesn't yet know that the item is lost from him.
Right.
So that's but we know that the moment that he realizes that he has lost it, then he's going to despair. He's going to be miyayish. But so far he has not yet done so, and the person found it. Somebody else found it before the owner ever realized that he lost it. That's the case of Yehu Shalom Midas.
And in that case, it's not hefker.
So in that case, that's one of the famous the Al Kagam that there's a machlekes Abaye and Rava, and we say in those cases the halacha follows Abaye, not Rava, and Abaye says in that case that Yehu Shalom Midas is lo habiyeush, unless he's actively bin meyayish before it comes into the hand of the finder. It's not regarded as a yehush. He's not allowed to take it for himself, even though thereafter, after the guy already picked it up, the second guy picked it up. Even if the one that lost it, he realized at some later point, and he was in fact meyayish. That's called it came into his hand be'isser. He can't keep it for himself at that point. He still can't keep it. That's a case of Yehu Shalom Midas.
Right.
That's in Bava Metzia. That's going to be coming up, I think, in the second parak.
Okay. Well, something.
If we ever get there.
So the Manda Amar that it is Yehush. What's his reasoning?
His reasoning is that since we know that in this case, this is the type of a case where he's definitely going to be meyayish, and he was in fact meyayish in the end. So we say that the fact that he did not yet know about that it was lost from him, it's nevertheless it's like nidin al sofo. It's judged as already. It's not It's not called that he picked it up to Isser. But in those cases, we're talking about an active thought of despair. Here, we're not talking about an active thought of despair. We're talking about that he sort of like neglected to pick this sheaf up. But now there's a special halacha that in this case he can't go back and get it, and now it's only set aside now for the anim to come and get. The owner can't come back and get it. That's what it says in this pasuk that we're talking about. What's it say? Lo tashuv lekachto. You can't go back and get it. This is the pasuk. If you want to look up the pasuk, this pasuk is Devorim Chav Daled Yud Tes. Maybe we should take a look at the pasuk. Chav Daled Yud Tes. Okay, so the pasuk says, "Hi tiksor kitzircha basodecha." When you reap the harvest in your field, v'shechachta, and you forget, Omer. Basode, and you forget a Omer, you forget a sheaf in the field. Yeah, so that's interesting that the pasuk says Basode over there, because that's the second time the pasuk mentioned that you're in the field. After you already told me when you're reaping in the field, you don't got to tell me, and you forgot the Omer in the field. Where else are you going to forget the Omer in? You're in the field, of course. I think that's where our Gemora is picking up on that extra word basode to make the drasha that we have over here. And then it says lo tashuv lekachto. So at that point, you can't go back. You can't return tashuv like the word tshuva. You can't go back and take it because you already were going through that part of the field and you forgot it. You weren't not me'ayesh. You didn't despair of ever getting it. On the contrary, you'd like to go back and take it because you realize that you forgot it there. So there's no issue of yeush over here. But since it's the Torah is now telling us this chiddush in the din that since that's what happened, you can't go back and get it. Lager, layosam, almona, yiyeh. Now it shall be for the ger, the yosam, and the almona. Yiyeh, it'll be for them. Laman yivarechacha Hashem elokecha b'kol ma'aseh yodecha. And Hashem will bless you in all of your work that you do, if you do this. Oh, so if you take a look at Rashi, okay, the first part is Rashi defines what does it mean when we say an Omer. Shechachta Omer. What's an Omer? Says Rashi, lo godish. We mean an Omer and not a godish. Mikan Omru, Omer sheyesh bo sosayim v'shachacho eino shichacha. If he had an Omer that was so big, it was sosayim, it was 2 saws worth. That sounds like it's more than one sheep. It's like a bunch of sheaves, and we're calling it an Omer, and you forgot it there. So eino shichacha, it's not going to get the din of shichacha. What's it mean? It's not going to get the din of shichacha. You did forget it there, but it won't have the din of shichacha, meaning that we don't forbid you to go back and get it when you realize that you forgot it. Oh, okay. So Rashi, see, you see the next Rashi. Rashi's bringing a different drasha than the drasha that we got in our pasuk. This it says basoda. We mentioned that is an extra word over there. It's waiting to be darshaned. Rashi says that the drasha, he brings a different drasha than our Gemora. We didn't see this drasha in our Gemora. The Rabbos Shichachas Kama. If he forgot, if Shichachas Kama is something, Kama is the stuff that didn't even get reaped. It didn't get cut off. Sheshachach Miksasa Miliksor. He didn't harvest all of the standing grain that was in the field. Some of it he not only did he not gather it up after he had harvested it, after he had cut it down, but some of it he didn't even cut down. So what do we say about that? Is that called shichacha?
Okay, I have to go. Take care. Be well. Pick up tomorrow again. It's time.
Okay. Bezrat Hashem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Was that a Chicago Cubs hat that he has?
I think it was, yeah. All right, so we're left with the question: is it shichacha? I think it's too big to be shichacha.
I think what it means when it says lerabos shichachas kama, meaning that it will be included in the din of shichacha. Now, there's not only the shichacha that, not only the grain, not only the stalks that you cut down and you picked all of them up, but you forgot one of them. Oh, that's going to be shichacha. You're not able to go back and get it. But even one that's shichachas kama, it's still standing. Kama means it's erect, it's standing, it still hasn't yet been cut down. You might think to say, oh, that's not called forgetting that, because I didn't even cut it down. How could I forget it? I didn't even cut it down. Forgetting means forgetting to gather it up after I cut it down and it fell on the ground. So the pasuk says no. The rabbos shichachas kama. This is also going to be included in the din of shichacha, meaning to say that if he forgot to cut it down, too bad. That's called shichacha. You won't be able to go back and cut it down and get it and take it. That's the reboy from the word basoda. Okay.
All right, Rabbi. Thank you.
Okay. Still persevere. We haven't been miyayish yet on Shichacha.
Okay. Have a good day.
Okay, all the best.